it's me. My voice is still going in and out, so excuse me if I sound like a teenage boy going through puberty. Uh, so it's just allergies, getting a little tickle in my throat, sometimes my ears. A lot of allergies. So, anyways, today is my best friend's birthday. So, in the comments, spam her happy birthday, if you will. Um, I don't get to see her, but I love her. She's my best friend since I was 2 years old. So yeah, today's her birthday. We live in way different states, not even close. But we gotta celebrate still. So, um, let's see. So, I thought if I haven't made a video on it, and sometimes my videos might get repetitive just because it's whatever is on my mind. This, should we even talk about 2025 at this point? It feels like every year we kind of say the same thing, right? But there are good moments in each year. But yes, there are bad moments when there are bad moments, right? Um, and I am one who hangs on to so many bad moments because that's all we can think about and that's all we can talk about. And I for one had so many bad moments this year, and I mean really each year, but this year it seemed like a little more, you know, typically. And it's been rough, right? For not just me, but so many. So let's look back on the good moments of this year and, think about those. Bring those good moments. If it was family coming home, or having new life brought into this world, or getting married for some, or so many things, right? That are good moments. Even finding your favorite restaurant or finding a new tradition, finding a piece of jewelry that means so much to you. So many different things that we can look at separately from those bad moments. And, I have a lot of great memories with my mom this year before her stroke. Even after her stroke, Christmas Eve was wonderful. I still have her. And she's still here, even if it's not always mentally, but she's still here. So I still have some good memories to make with my mom, I hope. And, so a lot of good things, even though a bad thing ended up coming from it, my brother and his wife came up here for the first time to see us. And it wasn't the perfect get together that we were hoping for, but it was something. And, because like whenever I traveled, I used to go down to see my family all the time. And nobody really came up here except for my uncle. And, so it was nice, somebody got to come up here. I got to show them kind of, not really around, but I got to show them, different things and enjoy their company and enjoy, people just being in our house and sharing thoughts and love. And I think it made us closer. So there's so much joy, to remember that you did have this year. And, spending time with your children, going to the arcade, going to the movies. Those are some of mine that I got to do this year. You know, getting my other kid to open up more to me and talk to me and having more conversations. You know, some of those things came from bad things, but they opened good things up, right? My husband and I becoming closer than ever, little by little. Did it come from a bad place? Yes. But this is when you build on the good, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of wonderful things that each of us have had in 2025. And sometimes they come from bad things. Sometimes bad things just, they happen. And, it sucks, right? It hurts. It's horrible. But it's remembering the good things. It's remembering, no, you didn't lose the, 50 pounds that you wanted to this year, but you still lost 5 or 10. It's remembering the good things that happen. So I hope that each of you can look at 2025 and find some good that happened, some joy, even if it wasn't a very long joy. It didn't last for a month, but maybe it lasts for an hour. Again, going to the game room with your kid, one-on-one time with your children or your nephew or your niece or your sister or your brother, bringing joy. And everybody goes, oh, I can't. I'm so glad 2025's over. Guess, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you look at every year there's some disappointment. Every year there's some kind of hurt, disaster, and I hate to sound that way, but it's true. I remember years ago saying, oh my gosh, I'm so glad this year, I can't remember what it was now, is over. Because it was so horrible. And I won't lie, it was a bad year. I think it was 2023. I had heart surgery one year, and another year I had kidney stone removal. If you've ever had that, I've had a lot of different bad things, I guess, things. And there was one year that it just seemed like it was one thing after the other, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad this year is over. Start fresh, start new. Yeah, maybe you don't get as many bad things, but they're in every year. And if no one taught you that, every year we're going to get something, because that's what life is really about. It really is. The good, the bad, all of it. Obviously, if life was supposed to be perfect, it would be, right? We wouldn't have all those bad things happen. But it's how you handle them. It's how you deal with them. It's how you let them affect your life sometimes. Sometimes you just can't help it, to hang on to things because it hurts so bad. And I understand that. Believe me, but it's trying to find that joy. That's why, and I'm not good at this. I'm not an organized person, guys. But I see that thing online where you take a jar, and every day, if you're a photographer, every day you take a picture of one thing that brought you joy. Every day you write down one thing that brought you joy and put it in that jar. So when the end of 2026 comes, you can look back and go, wow, look at all the joy that I did have. I love that idea because I think when something bad happens, we let go of the good things. For example, you're working out, you're trying to lose that 100 pounds, right? And, something bad happens in your life. Do you continue to try to lose that 100? If you're like most people, that's gone. That's out of your life now. Because all you can focus on that horrible thing that just happened. And you're like, F life. I'm done. I'm done with everything that brought me joy. How could I have joy, right? And I know I do that. I have done that. I lost almost 100 pounds one time. And I had something bad happen in my life to me. And that was the first, instead of hanging on to what was good in my life, I said, let me hurt, right? Let this hurt me. Let this take away everything. And, I could kick myself in the ass, obviously. I was so close to, hitting my first goal at least, right? And never got it back. But, that's the whole thing is there are joy in life. And it's how we let the bad affect us, and I'm one. Like, I am, believe me, they always say you give advice that you need to take. Here I am, because that's what I'm doing. Make that jar. If you're an organized person and you can do that, that is wonderful. A wonderful idea. I'm one. I'm like so many. I dwell on what hurt me. I dwell on what was taken from me. I dwell on all the negative, things. And sometimes, I do understand it's hard not to. But I'm asking you, I'm telling you, I'm trying to be with you. Like, one of the things that I did, I was going to read more books. And last year, I read a book a month. Okay, I'm not a reader. I don't like to read. I hate reading. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. My mom was so disappointed because she loved to read, and my grandfather, apparently, he was a genius, apparently. And so that she was so disappointed that no one in my family loved to read like she did. And I decided, I'm not one that I'm like, oh, I'm going to lose this much, or I'm going to, do this, because I know the day after the 31st, I forgot what I said. I forgot what I was going to do. So the day after, you see me in there eating cookies, So I gave that all up years ago. But that last year, I said, I'm going to read a book a month. And that's what I did. I did it. There's apps you can download that can keep track of your books. And that's what I did. And I was so proud of myself. This year, I was like, okay, if I can do 12 books, 12 months, let's see if I can do more. Did I do it? No. Because life got busy. Life happened. Bad things happened. So I gave that up because I didn't have time. That's not something, that I'm going to be like, how dare me, but again, I gave it up because life happened and life got hard, and it really did, as you guys know. So, there was one year that a couple of years ago, oh my gosh, or maybe it was last year, I don't even remember now, but at least last year or the year before, life was great. Life was amazing. It was almost scary how great it was, because what I did was, my husband and I, we weren't, mentally together, we weren't anything, we were roommates. And, I believe in don't wait for other people. Don't wait for people to make changes, because typically they're not going to, right? As we know. Sorry, I don't have you guys on the stand today. And so, I always waited for him to make changes, see how he was acting, see how he was treating me. And that year I said, the hell with it. I'm going to live for me. I am going to do everything I wanted you know, I went to the pool, I went here, I did this, I did that. I was out, I was doing things instead of waiting or sitting here staring at him, hoping that he was going to be like, hey, do you want to do something? I lived for me that year, and it was amazing. I planned my own birthday. I planned my whole birthday for myself because, again, if I sat there, I'm the party planner in my house. I plan everybody's birthday, and I make it big. I make it exciting. But nobody plans for me. And then I end up feeling bad, and it ends up depressing. So I had a big birthday last year, and I planned the whole thing myself. If my husband was there, fine. If my kids were there, fine. It was up to them. But I was going to celebrate even if it was me by myself. And let me tell you, that birthday last year was one of the most amazing ones I've had. I have people that go, well, nobody's going to do anything for me. I do everything for everybody, but they're not going to do anything. Go plan your own. I am telling you, and live for you. If you're sitting there, even if you're in a relationship and it's happy, not everybody is a romantic person who goes, oh, I need to think about this person. So plan it yourself. I'm telling you, it was amazing. It was one of the best birthdays I've ever had. It was fun. Everybody was there. It was just amazing. Live for yourself. Go out in nature. Go walking. Go jogging. Go out. Do stuff. Go to the pool. Go hang out with your kids. It's amazing when you live for yourself and you're not waiting for other people to invite you. You plan things and invite them. Hey, just to let you know, I'm going to the park. Would you like to join me? It's up to them if they want to be a part of it or not. Right? That was one of the best years I've had in a long time. And, so yeah, live for yourself. Get excited. Do things. Hang on to those good things, those good moments. Because, yes, 2026, there's going to be bad things that are going to happen to each of us. But again, it's how we handle it. It's how we try to deal with it. Anyways, sorry this was so long. I hope you guys all have an amazing New Year's and an amazing 2026. Can you believe it? Anyways, talk to you guys later. Bye.